Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to a new toys brushed tiny hoop FPV machine. This is a FrSky, yes, FrSky, more known for the receiver and transmitter systems. This is the Apus MQ60. So we have a basic tiny hoop clone including 700 CMOS FPV 25 milliwatt 48 channel solution. Okay, so it's a basic model 65 millimeters and based on 6 millimeters by 15 coreless model. So let's discover this new bundle. Okay, the box is super compact. So you just need to unclip like this and to remove the top cover. We have the machine, we will present in a few instants, but let's have a look to the accessories. And there are not a lot. There are only one USB charger, okay, with two type of connector. So with the 1 millimeter pitch, as we have here with the Apus MQ60, and more with a 2.50 millimeters for some other type of batteries. The main two type of battery connector we can meet in the this type of machine. We have now just a basic piece of paper with the instruction. Okay, so it's directly branded by FrSky. We can recognize the FrSky logo on top, the main characteristics. Okay, and the different binding procedure I will show, and more important, I would say this is a list of the 6 supported V-band associated with 8 V-frag inside, so 48 channel in total. That's all. No spare props, no screwdriver, for example, to remove the top canopy. Now let's have a look to the machine. We have below a battery. So it's a LiPo, it's not a LEHV, now more commonly used. It's a 200 milliamps power model, ending with this 1 millimeters, okay, micro GST connector, and standalone. This battery weighs, if you need some information, exactly are 6.6 gram, and if you are interested to find some compatible model, here is the exact dimension integrating the small connector. So it's 53 millimeters by something about 11.5 by 6. Okay, so standalone, the machine will weights, okay, if I remove the lens cap, about, okay, we integrate like this to be sure to have an accurate measurement, 21.6 gram, okay, and if I had the battery, I will reach 28.2 grams. So in comparison with the different model, here for example, the new Erchin QX65, the review will come soon, and this one, okay, is close to 1 gram more lighter and more. Okay, the battery is an LEHV and a 250 model, so standalone. We can measure the weight directly. It's 20.5 versus, if I can measure, okay, more or less the same weight. So the main difference is the battery in size. We will see. Now let's continue with the FrSky model. The quality of the plastic, okay, you can feel that it's super flexible. I'm not super impressed with this quality, okay, not so bad, but it's not among the best one. We have a 4-blade props, some 30 millimeters, let's measure that. Okay, 30 millimeters quadri blade with 1 millimeters of pinhole section. The 3 blades are known to offer more flight duration, but this one is announced to offer 5 minutes. Okay, the main novelty here introduced by FrSky is this main board. It's an F3 SP Racing based, okay, and integrating a D16 XM FrSky receiver. So in D16 mode, you have to bind this model. On the bottom side, you can find here the fail-safe bind button. So you will have to keep it pressed while powering through the USB or via the LiPo to enter into the binding mode. Good news, for the flight controlling board we have 4 connectors. The motors are 6 mm, no RPM announced, okay, and we check in the practicing if they are boost or not, but for sure they are 6 mm by 15. So for this amount of weight, it could be crucial. Every gram matters, and I would say every fraction of gram matters. So with a total weight of 28 grams, it could be an open real question: how will be the power lift performances? Okay. Anyway, it's like this. What we can find: the FPV camera, and look that no specific positive angle for this one, so it will be definitively more in indoors flyers where the top speed will be a little bit limited. On top we have the 5.8 GHz linear antenna installed vertically through an hole. That's great. And here, look that we have a small button here on the lateral left side where you can hear a click. Okay, a kind of plastic notch where you can click on it. There are 2 versions of the color, one blue, sky blue like this, and one more gray translucid. With this one, as you can see, there is no possibility to guess what will be the V-frake and V-band selected. For the IO, you have 2 LEDs bar row, okay, and they are almost invisible. You can only slightly guess them, okay. So no, you cannot really fit or measure very well which is the index of the green row or the red row, indicating respectively the V-frake and the V-band. That's the drawback. It means that you will need to remove the 1, 2, 3 screws to access more easily to the V-band selection. Anyway, that's probably the main drawback. And the second one, the flight control board is not integrating any OSD. From now, it's a real drawback, because now they manage to miniaturize all this OSD information. And for example, the MQ60 integrates an OSD. So it's probably FrSky. You probably miss one technological step by not integrating an OSD. Anyway, everything is basic, the quality is basic. The LiPo is also in average. In the design, what I really like is the position of the USB port, a micro USB port, very well located, because if you need to calibrate on the flat surface, you won't be disturbed by the presence of the USB cable. Of course, you can always do stick commands to calibrate, but if you are in Betaflight, you probably want to do it within this setup. So it comes with Betaflight 3.3.0. It's strange, so probably a beta version of the branch 3.3. SP Racing, okay, we will check the default configuration. One word about the binding: you have to bind it in D16, and no problem to bind it with a jumper, okay, by selecting the FrSky X protocol. Just one remark: if you own an Orange X IR8M, and I noticed for FrSky X receiver type D16, you will definitely need to add a small adjustment in the FrSky X protocol. For example, you will need personally to set the V-frake to 63. It's very important. If you keep it by default to 0, it's not binding. How to proceed? So I will press the bind button. Be sure to hear a click. You can do it with the fingers. Insert the power bank. You should see a solid red light on the receiver. Then press the bind and you have a fast red flashing. Okay. Then you can turn off everything. Return on everything. And if everything is okay, the red light disappeared. You have only the green light here. Okay, so it was a binding procedure, and if you have this range X, be sure to select the VFrame around 60. Okay, so now it's time to check the Betaflight configuration. Okay, probably make some little optimization. Okay, so let's check the default Betaflight configuration. We'll connect. Be sure to have all the driver correctly installed. This one, this two one. And after a couple of seconds, you will access to the main interface. Directly go to the CLI panel, check the current version install, and we have an SP Racing F3 Evo board based 3.3 as I mentioned previously, so probably based on a beta version. And I strongly advise to dump any settings, okay, and in order to restore in any case if you did a mistake. Okay, so copy this element, send and paste into an empty text file, so save it, and if you need to restore whatever, just copy from this original text file, paste into the CLI, and don't forget to end with the save command. Okay, so now let's have a look. I will repress and reconnect to Betaflight. Okay, we'll open the port. If it's not, reconnect twice. Sometimes it requires double connection procedure. Okay, so it's collecting all the information. Let's check the setup. Okay, nothing special. In terms of port, the ASBUS built-in D16 FrSky receiver is based on the serial UR2. Okay, so be sure in any case to have this serial turned on for your ASBUS transmitter. In terms of configuration, let's check that. We have a quad X. Okay, motor direction is reversed, so be aware. Look that it's original. Okay, so the counterclockwise is the left, front left. Okay, is unusual, like the, I would say, the absent design. They selected the brushed, and they selected the PWM frequency. So 16 means that probably you will lose a little bit some motor punch. But on the other hand, probably the machine will be more quiet, more silent. Okay, so if you think that you want to boost a little bit the performances, decrease this value to something about 800, okay, 1000, or even to 5000, 8000, you should feel a little, I would say, just a little boost. Okay, we have motor stop after 5 seconds. Okay, and here is the system. So it's an F3 Evo board, but you can push further the board without problem. Actually, we have only 4% of CPU usage. Don't hesitate to push further. So we can probably push to 4 kilos everything. Okay, let's save and reboot and check this CPU load usage after these new values. We connect. Okay, and now we're just 9%, so it's good news. It's not overloaded, no problem. No specific board alignment. Okay, and the arming with maximum angle of 25 degrees. Be aware of that if you don't manage to arm. And obviously the receiver, the built-in receiver, is a serial based one, and more particularly using the ASBUS protocol. We have only the air mode turned on permanently, so I don't advise it. Okay, so you should disable it, and unfortunately we don't have any USD built-in model, so that's a drawback. In terms of beeper configuration, we will keep all by default. We save and reboot. Okay, I will reconnect one more time. There was a fail. Okay, connecting, yes. And okay, so let's check now the power and battery. Nothing special. Okay, we will keep this value associated with the one cellule. In terms of PIDs, you have to know that it's a stable machine due to the duct system, but on the other hand, the drawback, the flip and roll rates will be slower. Okay, so you need to increase them if you want to attempt to perform flips and roll. So I will apply my favorite settings, something more about 800 degrees. I would probably push to 900, even more degrees. Okay, it's important. So something about 900 degrees per second. Okay, like this. We push with more super expo, like this. Sorry. Okay, that's fine. And for the I will prefer more linear command. So here we have a very slow shape, but we can even do better by applying something like this. Okay, and decrease the values to something about 33, and we have more linear answers. For the strength in anger and horizon, we can keep 50. That's all. That's great. And anti-gravity gain, we will see like this, and the anti-gravity threshold. Press and save. Okay, that's great. It's saved. Now we'll go to the receiver section. I will turn on the transmitter. Okay, now what we have the RSSI on aux4. Okay, it's strange because we don't have any OSD, so it's useless to support the RSSI, but anyway it's flashed with the firmware supporting the RSSI on the last channel. We have the by default, if you fly with a Taranis, select the spectrum here, and if you have more the orange, select the FrSky. So it depends what is your channel mapping, also of your current OpenTX option. So I'm flying with an ATR channel mapping. We're starting with Aaron, and everything is done, everything is seen, so it's no problem. Okay, so I've got this two-way, three-way here, three-way here, okay, and here the last for the my rate. So everything is working. You should apply whatever a more band in any case. Okay, and of course be sure to have the okay, correctly center on the value on 1500. For the iRange X, you need absolutely to do a fix to stabilize around 1500 because there is a small deviation. The precision is not great with the actual setup. Okay, and there is a lot of mode available on YouTube right now. Let's check the mode. We have arming on aux1. Okay. Here, so I will apply more with aux2 for me because it's my two-way. Okay, and more here to reverse aux1, aux1, aux1. Okay, so let's check that. So we have anti-gravity associated with the 6-axis stabilized mode. Okay, very strange. Then in the middle position we have no reason, and when it's up we have a pure acro without any anti-gravity. So in terms of arming we have that. Okay, in aux2. Okay, it's more aux3 for me. Okay, like this, and that's all. No beeper, no buzzer, so it will be okay. So let's check that. Okay, arming, flight modes, that's all. No possibility to add really a small, very small buzzer. It will be too heavy. Okay, so the configuration is done. We can save it, and now let's fly this machine. Let's conclude about this FrSky project, and I will say immediately avoid this machine. It's completely underpowered. You have a lot of difficulties to take off, to maintain in the same altitude the machine, more with a 100% throttle input. The command will start to be applied after a couple of seconds. It's incredible. So the inertia is huge in terms of altitude gain, and after a couple of minutes the performance will decrease even more. So the solution is not good. Probably the motor are not strong, not fast enough. Okay, and the battery I think is not a very good model, by the way. Well, so there are many other tiny whoop class FPV machine available in the market. So this one, sorry FrSky, you completely failed this product. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please send it, and see you next time. Bye bye.